again, and welcome to another edition of Southern Country. Hi, I'm Herb Southern, and welcome to the show. We're in historic Richmond town in Staten Island at the Bluegrass Festival, and I want to tell you something. I'm very honored to have this man on my show. He is Jesse McReynolds. He is a Grand Ole Opry member. He is Jesse McReynolds. Welcome to the show.
Good to see you.
Okay. For the viewers not familiar with you, for 55 years you were the mandolin half of Jim and Jesse, correct?
Correct, yes.
And you're the longest active professional brother duet in the history of bluegrass and country music.
As far as I know, well, yes.
That's
a
lot of years. You and Jim were the first generation pioneers starting out in '47. This marks your 60th year in music, 60th anniversary. What made you and Jim stand out from the rest of the bluegrass pioneers of the first generation?
Well, I think most of the people who played bluegrass, they really, I think most of them worked with Bill Monroe in his band, you know, and went from there on, like little Jimmy Martin and of course Flatt and Scruggs and all. But we never was lucky enough to get to work with Bill Monroe. Since me being a mandolin player, I don't know where I'd worked in with him anyway. So we just started trying to create more of a country-oriented duet with bluegrass instruments, you know. I know when we first started, our first recording contract with Capitol Records, we were going to, in order to be a little bit different, we were going to feature the mandolin and fiddle and maybe to have the banjo in the background. And Ken Nelson, who was A&R man with Capitol at that time, we went through some of the songs we were going to do, and he said, well, what about the banjo? We're going to put the banjo in there somewhere. I said, well, we hadn't planned on using the banjo, featuring it that much. But he insisted that the banjo was very popular with Earl Scruggs and, of course, Don Reno, and a lot of people was doing good with banjo. And so that's how we kept our singing the way we intended to, but we added the banjo in when we first started recording there, because we had one in our band most of the time anyway. And so we learned our harmony from different sources through the Bales brothers, who did a lot of great songs, and the Blue Sky Boys, and the Monroe brothers, Bill and Charlie together, and the Mainers Mountaineers. We had a lot of their records around that. So.
You had good teachers.
Yeah.
You had the best there was in those days.
Oh, yes. And the Carter family, we had a lot of their records, you know. In fact, we grew up pretty close to where they were from.
Well, actually, did I read where your grandfather recorded in 1927 at the Bristol?
Yeah. Yeah, he played fiddle on a couple of tunes on the Bristol sessions.
Wow.
And they was called his band was called the Bull Mountain Moonshiners. And they did a tune called, they called it Johnny Goodwin, but it was actually the girl I left behind me.
Okay.
As we know it.
Okay. Well, that says a lot. It goes way back. That brings you guys back to the original days.
You know, that was 1927 when he did those recordings, yeah.
Let's talk about your 60th year. Any special plans for this monumental year in music? Any tour, albums, anything, any changes?
I'm working on some new projects. I have always wanted to write and create some different things, you know. We did some albums. We did a lot of tribute albums. Did one tribute album to Roy Acuff, a tribute album to Bill Monroe, and we also did a album of Chuck Berry songs with some Chuck Berry music back in the 60s there.
That's a little stretch from Roy Acuff, isn't it?
Yeah, this was before we did the Acuff.
Okay, okay.
And then we did a lot of gospel projects. And now, since Jim passed away, I've done one album, instrumental album called Bending the Rules, which I did with Travis Wetzel, a great fiddle player from over in Pennsylvania. We did a lot of swing music on this. Some of the old, kind of like Sweet Georgia Brown and Remington Ride, and I wrote quite a few of the tunes for this. And Travis done a great job helping me arrange it and doing some great fiddle work on it. And the project I'm working on right now is a tribute to Jerry Garcia and Robert Hunter. With the Grateful Dead songs. I've got 12, I'm doing 12 of their songs in a project, and hopefully I'll get to introduce my music to my style of playing to a different audience there. And I had David Nelson, who has a new writer of the Purple Sage group. He helped me on the recording, and I had some more people that does a lot of Jerry's guitar style playing. So I just like to do a variety of things. So.
You just mentioned something, your style of music. I read where your style of music combines bluegrass, mainstream country, rock, folk, pop, Spanish, and other styles.
Oh yes.
That's
Well,
a combination.
Yeah. Well, my first venture into different types of music, I did an album with the Doors.
Yeah, that's Jim Morrison. Goes
Yeah.
back to how many years that goes back?
Oh, that was back in the
Yeah, you bet.
in the '60s. Yeah.
You bet it
Yeah.
does.
And that was an interesting project. I've got a lot of people, a lot of recognition from having my name on the album, The Soft Parade with the Doors. You know, although I only played on one song.
Well, that was enough.
But, yeah.
Your name's on there.
Yeah.
Tell you what, how about if we talk about Dixie Road?
Yeah, Dixie Road is it's my latest project I got out.
Okay.
And I wrote part of the songs for this, and I went back and got some Lee Greenwood songs. I got some Gordon Lightfoot songs, and
you wrote half of it.
Yeah, and I had one.
Helen Carter.
Let's see, I'm trying to think. Yeah, Run for the Roses.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan Fogelberg.
Dan Fogelberg. He's great.
Oh yeah.
He's great.
I heard that song. I was riding down the road one day. Me and my wife listened to the music on the radio, and this song came on, Run for the Roses. I thought, I didn't know. I had heard of Dan, but I didn't know it was him. She said, yeah, she told me who it was. I said, I want to do that song sometime. It was plumb out of my style, really,
Right.
but I like challenges. I like to take songs that's complicated. I think, listen to them, I said, I can't hear myself doing some of these songs like that. That's what happened with the Grateful Dead project.
Yeah.
She listened to, played some records of a lot of things they did, and I said, that music don't fit me. I don't think I can do it. She said, why don't you try it? So she talked me into trying a few, and now I got into it, and it's working.
Good working.
Yeah,
Good work,
it's working good, yeah.
Good. You're a mandolin player.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, you were the innovator of the McReynolds style of picking. Cross-picking, split string, syncopated effect. Now, I don't know what I just said, so you better explain it to me, what I just said.
Well, I usually have someone else to explain what I'm doing, but basically I started playing mandolin. I took Earl Scruggs' banjo roll and used a straight pick where he uses 3 fingers. I do it with a straight pick, which is very complicated. Like I said, some people I say it's like trying to run underwater. It's a little complicated to do and get any speed with it, but developed that, and then I also developed the split string, is what they...
Yeah.
You have to be a mandolin player or know something about mandolin to really see what I'm doing here. We have 2 sets of strings on the mandolin, which tune in unison, and I take my fingernail and hook it on one of those strings, and I have to cut a notch in my fingernail so we get 3-part harmony instead of 2 parts. And so that's what they call split string.
Wow. All right. Who plays that? Does anybody else play this split string out there today?
Well, I don't think I've heard anybody do it. A few people might do it, but my grandson Luke McKnight, now he's got my cross picking down good. He's got a good right hand, and now he's working on the left hand. So, but I'm sure there's people out there that does it because they've been tablature done on it. And the new mandolin players that are coming out nowadays, there's all these young kids, man. Yeah. They learn fast.
They learn fast.
Yeah,
they
sure
learn fast. You created a I can't even tell me what.
Mandolobro.
All right. What is that?
That is part a mandola. It's the size of a mandola. It's made like a dobro. It's got 8 strings on it.
Oh wow.
It's like a large mandolin, but I say it's part mandolin, it's part dobro, but it's the size of a mandola. You know. So in order to put all this together, I call it a mandolobro.
Do you play it on stage?
No, I haven't. I don't carry it with me very much. It's good for studio work. I use it mostly for background and on my recordings.
You gonna mass market that thing?
Well, if Doughboy wants to do it, they're welcome to. I wish they would.
All right. Talk to me. Now, for over the years, you always had the Virginia boys backing you up.
Yes.
You and Jim always had the Virginia boys. Top-notch musicians play traditional acoustic instruments. How has that lineup changed at all, or they still got the guitar, mandolin, 5-string, fiddle, and bass?
Yeah,
that's it. That's basically it. Huh?
Yes.
And now, how do you go? How many configurations of the Virginia boys have there been over the years? Just wild guessing.
I would say close to 100.
100 of them.
Yes.
Has any of those Virginia boys gone out on their own and became started with you like Monroe's Bluegrass boys?
No, not really.
Okay.
Vassar Clemens, he worked with
Did
us.
he?
Yeah.
Wow.
He went out on his own and did quite well. And then Bobby Thompson, he was a great banjo player. He went into doing recordings he recorded with everybody in Nashville
Right.
and a lot of different type of music he did. And most of them, and my grandson now, he's doing some recording on his own. His name's Luke McKnight.
Right,
and
sure.
my other grandson is singing with me. He just started singing with me about 6 months ago, and
Okay.
he's playing guitar and singing tenor, and hopefully they might get together and carry on.
Do something.
Yeah.
There you Talk to me about being a member of the Masters with Kenny Baker, Josh Graves, and Eddie Adcock, who was a good friend of mine.
Well, we got together with CMH Records, Martin Hurley. He said, I know you guys play different types of music. He said, I know somewhere down the road you probably wanted to do something that you'd never done before. He said, I want to turn you loose and let you just do whatever you want to do as a group. So he had Kenny Baker and Josh Graves, Eddie Adcock, and myself. And I looked at that, I said, that sounds like the fatal combination.
But you got the best in the world there, I'm telling you.
But we did a couple of projects. I think they did 3 projects with that group.
Jesse, you guys had some awards in your day. 64, the Opry was a big one.
Yeah, we joined the Grand Ole Opry in 1964. That was a highlight of our career, I guess, as far as when you get to the Grand Ole Opry, where else can you go?
No, do you reach the top of the line already?
Yeah.
Well, I thought that National Heritage Fellowship Award, the White House, was pretty far up there.
Oh, yeah, that was
up there with the Opry.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Presented by Hillary and Jane Alexander.
Yeah, yeah, that was a really honor that we got that, because awards like that is not something that people really, you don't get in politics and say vote for me on this.
Yeah.
It was done because of what we had achieved, throughout the years. So.
And you inducted into IBMA?
Yeah, IBMA Hall of Honor. We put in there not long. We was about the 3rd or 4th artist that went in there.
How about the Country Music Hall of Fame Walkway of Stars?
Yes, our fan club. A lady in Florida, Jean Osborne, she had a fan club for about 35 years, I think.
Wow.
She was our fan club president, and she got together and we got helped get that done.
How about the Grammy nominations? You did an award winner?
I've got a few Grammy nominations. I did one with Vassar Clemens, and then I did one with Davey Grisman and Ronnie McCurry, who was nominated for a Grammy.
Mandolin Extravaganza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were nominated for one more, I think we did for Rounder Records, Music Among Friends.
Wow.
And then the Masters, we were with Josh and Eddie.
Right, exactly.
That was a nomination we got.
Not bad, huh? 60 years.
Yeah. It's nice to be nominated, and maybe I'll win one day.
Yeah, well.
I'm going to hang in there.
There you go. Nothing wrong with hanging in there. I tell you what, I want to thank you for being on the show. It's a pleasure to have you. It's an honor to have Jesse McReynolds on Southern Country. Today we're going to wrap it up right now with you going out, okay?
All right.
Here's Jesse wrapping up in Southern Country.